I believe that I was put on this earth to make a difference in the world. So when I leave here, that this world should be a little better place for me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real State of Black America. I'm your host, Terrence Alton Cox III. We view things from a broader sense on this show. We look at things from a different perspective. And sometimes we just rip the Band-Aid off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real State of Black America. I'm your host, Terrence Alton Cox III. On this show, we view things from a broader sense. We look at things from a different perspective, and sometimes we just rip the Band-Aid off. Today's show, I'm going to be talking to the sponsors, the motorsport sponsors, Nascar, Formula One, IndyCar. Now, I'm going to share with you about American Standard Motorsports. American Standard Motorsports is a stock car racing series, like NASCAR. The only difference is our theme is we welcome all. Black, white, gay, Jew, old, young, whatever religion is, whatever your culture is, from India, Istanbul, Philippines, it doesn't matter. We're going to be the farm to nurture all of the drivers for a racing series all over the world. Now, in our platform of American Standard Motorsport, we're going to have the 400 Proud 250 race. We're going to have the My Hip Hop Culture race. We're going to have the Juneteenth official merchandise race. We're going to integrate the minorities into racing with one swoop, as the old people would say. Now, where we're going to need you is, when we're up and running where the tire meets the road, we need for you to give us some financial participation. Now, our numbers are not big numbers. You need to give me $100 million. We're not there. But what we are able to do is put eyeballs on your products. As you know, the motorsport industry is having a problem getting asses in the seats. It is what it is. This American Standard Motorsport is going to pack the tracks out. Everybody wants to be involved in racing. Male, female, kids, old people. The problem is they don't have a platform. They don't have a theater to sit in the seat where they are participating in this. Now, Lowe's, Mountain Dew, Advanced Auto Part, American Express, Coca-Cola, Credit One, DoorDash, Goodyear, DeWalt Tools, Craftsman's, Camping World, Xfinity, Ally. The amount of money that you all spend sponsoring all these races, all these race series, for a fraction of that, we give you 5 times what you're getting from anybody else from American Standard Motorsport. Let me say that again. The amount of money that you all are spending in motorsports, when the tire meets the road here, you're going to get 5 times the eyeballs and social media, because we are going to be controlling the social media for this racing platform. Now, as we move forward, we're going to be reaching out to you all to participate in American Standard Motorsport Racing. Our team has been together over 15 years. We've been hitting at this tree, sponsors. We've been hitting at this tree. We wake up every day, we hitting at this tree. We're constantly hitting at this tree. We're not going anywhere. What we are doing is, when that axe gets dull, we sharpen another one, we come back at you again. We want you to join in on the celebration of the 400, the My Hip Hop Culture, and the Juneteenth on this particular racing platform. And now remember this, that when you engage with us, we make money with the merchandise and the brands in American Standard Motorsport. You can be part of solving the educational problem. You can be part of making the world a better place out here. So any sponsor that gets involved with American Standard Motorsport or any of our brands, you can use it on your commercials. Look what we've done. We're helping educate those kids. Look what we've done. We cleaned up those 10 cities. Look what we've done. We helped that investment firm fuel all these young businesses. Now, we live in a world today where you can say what you want about somebody product, about anything you want. We're at the level 9 American Standard Motorsport. We don't do that. I've done enough kumbaya holding hands and no justice, no peace for us. We're above that. Now, we're going to be reaching out to you motorsport sponsors from this platform. We're going to contact you and say, here, we're American Standard Motorsport. We want you to be a part of this with your finance, with your money. With your finance and with your money. Now, NASCAR in its heydays got $30 to $50 million for a race team. That's wonderful. You sponsors, each one of our cars is only 3.5. But we give you 5 times the eyeball with this. I feel that a lot of time when it comes to sponsorship dollars, that people of color in motorsport, they don't get it because I don't think you all are comfortable with the platform that they create. The platform they create. Now, each one of these sponsors that deal in the world of motorsport, we buy their product, their food, their cars, their services. We buy them. Now, we could put a man on the moon, but we can't engage some form of racing series. Well, that don't make sense to me. We could take the heart from one man and stick it in a child, but we can't get any money for this. Well, that don't make sense to me. Man can fly in an aircraft from here to London, England in a couple hours, but we can't get any money in the sponsorships. Well, none of that makes sense. So we're going to be starting this show, and we're going to be engaging conversations about what is it going to take for us to get American Standard Motorsports sponsored up. Now, it only takes $30 million. Just $30 million. Now, if a sponsor was business savvy, what they would do is say, hey, Mr. Cox and your team, this is what I want to do. I won't fund this $30 million here. I want it to be American Standard Motorsports racing driven by my product forever. Not a problem. Let me say it again. If I were a sponsor,
Put some names as a sponsor.
yes, now,
No, I'm powered by.
yes. Now, let's visualize this, since we are here visualizing what could be opportunity. If this was American Standard Motorsport, the evolution of racing, we welcome all, driven by Lowe's. How powerful would that be, Lowe's? Now, hypothetically speaking, if this was American Standard Motorsport evolution of racing, we welcome all, fueled by American Express. We're just visualizing now. Let's just take the time to visualize. What could be the possibilities? What if this was American Standard Motorsport driven by Coca-Cola? Just think of the possibility of eyeballs on your product. See, we must think outside the box on this. Now, American Standard Motorsports, driven by Sunoco. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Just imagine what if this was American Standard Motorsport driven by Goodyear Tire? How many eyeballs would you get? How many tires would you sell? how would all the world embrace you? Now, if this were, we're imagining things. We're going to let our imagination flow. If this was American Standard Motorsports, driven by craftsmen, $30 million. $30 million will buy you in. We're going to keep vision this. We're going to keep the vision alive. What if this was American Standard Motorsport driven by Mars, M&M, candy bars? $30 million to get that kind of branding, packing the tracks out. Now, what if this was, let's come up with American Standard Motorsport driven by FedEx. Imagine that, FedEx. Everywhere you go all over the world, that brand is moving. Now, since we are imagining the possibilities, what if this was American Standard Motorsport driven by Hyundai, Kia, Honda, Chevy, General Motors, Ford? They have that kind of naming rights. And then realize not General Motors. Correct. Now remember General Motors. But you know, when I look at, if I'm going to imagine this, watch this where I'm going. Listen to me carefully. What if this was American Standard Motorsports fueled by NASCAR sponsors? You would get 2 for 1. Let me say that again. What if this was American Standard Motorsport driven by NASCAR? You know, some things just make sense to me. Sponsors, it just makes sense to me. Now, from this platform, The Real Estate of Black America, we're going to have these conversations here. We're just going to have the conversations about sponsors, dollars, where they go, who got what, who participated in this. Now, remember, if in fact either one of you sponsors, any sponsor position himself as driven by or fueled by, watch this, you can sit on your TV commercials and say, I help educate them kids. Those 10 cities, I help clean them cities up. My brand put together that investment firm where all them young kids have an opportunity to get money. We're not only going to let you have that, but we're going to let you use that on your marketing, that you made a difference for the historical black colleges forever. If we're going to imagine, I did a TV show, a content show, and I was talking to NASCAR, and I was sharing with them that their legacy. I was talking to Steve Spelt, Steve O'Donnell, Jim France, Lisa France, and Mike Hilton. And on that particular content of the show, I was letting them know that your legacy is not that you just drove the ship. Your legacy is you took that ship and took it on to another course. Now, between American Standard Motorsports, the sponsors, the 400 Proud 200 race we're going to throw in, the 250 My Hip Hop race, and the official merchandise for June, it will pack out the tracks, but you're getting 5 times the eyeballs on your product or your service because of American Standard Motorsports. Now, so
interracial stand.
Correct. And realize that for the sponsor that comes in, American Standard Motorsport, driven by your product, that is the first time in the history of motorsport anywhere on earth that you have a whole audience that looks like malls, interracial. Black, white, Spanish, Asian, where everybody's comfortable. Where everybody's comfortable. You know, on one of the shows that I had, I was speaking to the players at NASCAR, and I told them the only reason why this is not up and running with that NASCAR brand on it, because their feelings got hurt. Now, this right here, and I'm telling you sponsors, and I'm passionate about this, this should have been American Standard Motorsport fueled by NASCAR. That's what it should have been. Now, with that said, this is the first of many subject matters that we're going to be talking to sponsors around the world about you participating, bringing your dollars into American Standard Motorsport. This is the real state of Black America. Once again, my name is Terrence Alton Cox III. We view things from a broader sense. We look at things from a different perspective. We look at things from a different perspective. And sometimes in our conversation, you know what we do. Always remember to treat people like you want to be treated. And always remember, make this world a better place.